Pregnant.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. Do you have a gout-ridden toe or bowels that move too slow, creaky knees, or how about an asthmatic wheeze? Then acupuncture is sure to please. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566. That's 352-615-5566.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right. It's a hot day, Robin.
Yeah, it is.
In July. How are we going to do this one? Stuart Canterbury is on the phone, and how do I do this one? He's an award-winning producer and director in the adult movie industry with over 300 major feature films, whose credits include Penthouse, Hustler, Brazzers, Adam and Eve, and he's an author of a book called Turning Blue, which is what we're going to focus on today.
Yeah.
Turning Blue is described as a candid and hilarious blow-by-blow account behind the scenes of the X-rated movie industry. So how would you answer this question? If somebody said, when's the last time you saw an X-rated film? You would probably roll your eyes. You'd probably say, well, I've never seen one. I've never seen one. So what would you do? When you're reading this book, do you tell people, I'm reading this book called Turning Blue? It's so funny. There is some funny stuff in this book. Stuart Canterbury, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Robin. Nice to be here.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Los Angeles, in the Hollywood Hills, on a hot July day.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot here too. I bet it's hotter there though, especially in the studio.
Well, it's 8:00 in the morning here, so it's going to warm up as we go.
Well, I mean because of what you do.
Sorry, I missed that one.
Do you have a shoot today?
No, I'm not shooting today. I don't have another shoot scheduled until next month with Hustler.
Do you?
Oh, okay.
Do you? Do you ever hear the complaints about the industry you're in? I don't mean necessarily just from people who don't like what you do at all, but I mean people who do like what you do, but who don't think it represents real sexuality. Have you heard those complaints?
Well, it's not supposed to represent real sexuality, so I mean, I would take that one on the chin, because what it is really, it's entertainment, and those are the kind of complaints that you would think that people don't want to accept, that what they see in a movie is an illusion. Well,
that's a good answer.
You know, it's the same as if you go and see a James Bond movie. You know, it's not supposed to be real. So no, it's entertainment, and it's unfortunately people have been using it for sex education, which is not what the purpose is.
Okay. Well, that's a good answer, actually. I saw this thing on Jimmy Kimmel the other day, where Jimmy Kimmel was talking about X-rated films that are for the blind, and they are actually narrated by a professional voiceover person. Do any of your films go through that process?
I have never really considered making films for the blind.
Okay. Well, it's an I think they take films that already exist and they just have a narrator, like add a descriptive, which Jimmy Kimmel did it because it was funny. But I would imagine that this is probably something that would actually, I mean, somebody who's, it serves some kind of a purpose, I'm sure.
I think, it kind of speaks to the point that the sexiest part of your body is always between your ears.
Yeah.
It's all about fantasy and, what takes place in your head.
You have a way of telling these stories in a funny way. Tell me the thoughts that led to the writing of the book in the first place.
Well, you mentioned that, and I think that I responded in a certain way because a lot of books which have been written about the industry have taken an approach which either they take an approach which is somewhat titillating and sensational, or otherwise it's a very dark and lurid approach as to all of these just gloomy concepts, which has not been my experience. My experience has been that it's hilarious. Because when you think about the really outrageous situations and larger-than-life personalities that an adult movie producer has to deal with on a daily basis, it makes you laugh out loud.
Do you look over a script before you ever start filming and say, "Oh gosh, this is a great script," or does the script not matter as much in your field?
The kinds of movies that I make always have the context of the storyline. So in that sense, yes, we would actually, take the script quite seriously in the beginning.
So would that be considered movies? Because I've always heard that there are certain movies that in your realm, in X-rated realm,
yes,
that men like, that are different than the films that a woman would like. They're like female friendly or whatever they call them.
I think that's something of a convention. I don't know if that's true. I think men and women both like to see these kind of movies.
Really?
Maybe for slightly different reasons. I mean, the argument normally is that the men are more visually stimulated, and women like to have a bit of more of a context.
Or a story. I think storyline.
Yeah. But to me, that's always important. I mean, it's one thing to depict an explicit scene, but it's much more interesting if there's some sort of exchange going on between the people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your character, Tiffany, she's a real person. I mean, she has feelings. She's a comedian, but she's still very smart and witty.
Well, Robin, I don't want to say she's a real person because then, I would like to emphasize that it's a book of fiction. And certainly the characters in the book are drawn from people that I have known and situations that I have encountered, but they become composites. And to me, people had really over the years been curious about what I do for a living, and I always thought how fascinated they would be if they really knew what went on. And so this book takes you sort of really behind the scenes, and what I wanted to do really was to humanize the people. And so in that sense, I think Tiffany is very funny, but still a fictional character.
One of the areas of the movies you make that often gets picked on is the soundtrack, the music. Is that different nowadays? And I'm saying it that way because I haven't really seen an X-rated movie in quite a while. I'm reluctant to say this because you know what I think people think? People are going to think, oh, come on, Larry. Yes, you have. You probably watched something yesterday. But I really haven't. And not that I'm not prude in any way, but I'm 61, if that helps. And I'm not saying I don't have any male drive anymore. I don't know. It just doesn't happen for me anymore. But...
Well, Larry, nobody watches these movies, of course. I mean, no one's ever admitted to that.
Yeah, but I'm not, okay. See, I thought that's what, I don't want you to think that.
No, but this is what I'm
trying to be as honest with you as I can. And and so the question was about the music. I remember when I saw these movies that the music was kind of hokey, and I'm just wondering if it still is.
I think it's mostly terrible. But that is what it is, largely a function of budget more than anything else. I mean, these movies are made inexpensively, so if you have, it's not only the music but all of the soundtrack. But we've certainly, I think, tried to improve that. I mean, there was a vogue where everything was very nicely scored, and the music became quite important part of what was going on. Now, a lot of the trend is even to do it without music to get a greater sense of reality.
Will you make this
music?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Will this book be made into a movie?
We're talking to a few people. I think perhaps the prospect may be more of a TV series than a movie because it's so episodic in.
That's kind of a cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the stories never end. I mean, it just it goes on, and actually, I did have an agreement with my publisher to actually make a series out of it. So I'm working on a sequel at the moment.
Well,
I'll tell you the name. It's called, because this book is called Turning Blue, and the sequel is called Shocking Pink.
Oh, I like that. But you're two, and will Tiffany and Travis reprise their roles?
Yes, they're back, and some other new characters too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
How do you get the actors and actresses? Do you have like a Rolodex or something, or
Rolodex?
Larry, I'm often asked that question. They say, "How do you find the performers?"
Yeah.
I always say they find me. But no, there's quite a few agencies that specialize in this kind of performer, and so we work with agencies also. Because my studios that I work with are Hustler and Penthouse. So they get quite involved in the casting of the movies, and in fact, in some cases, they have even contract players.
Wow, what is that audition like?
Yeah, they got an audition.
It's not what you think.
Oh,
because what you're thinking is let me see how I can phrase it.
Yeah, you don't got to phrase it. I think we know.
Right.
So it's not what we think.
That is the job, right? So it's no use having the audition for the job when that actually is the job, right? If you're following.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so how is the audition done? Is it a script and like a normal audition?
Well, it's sort of more of a meet and greet usually. I mean,
okay.
I would, let me get your listeners excited. There is nudity at the audition. That's all I'm going to say. There's nudity at the audition because you do want to examine the body and make sure that there's no surprises.
And you want to have that chemistry too.
The chemistry is important. I mean, you also want to make sure that the performer is comfortable and relaxed. I mean, that's another myth about the industry is that no producer is going to really try to coerce somebody or persuade somebody to do something that they're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That puts the brakes on something immediately.
I got you right. So so the actors have to get along.
They have to get along, but just also whatever they're doing in front of the camera, they have to be comfortable with.
I love that.
Well, my gosh.
No, it's not even. Robin, it's not even going to be a good scene if you're trying to push somebody in a certain direction that they don't want to go in.
Is the audio dubbed in, or is it actual recorded live on the set?
Well, we do record it live on the set, and dubbing it in, which it is sometimes. Is also, as I said before, a function of budget because on a more expensive movie you have more funds available to do the audio sweetening in post production.
Do you have a subgenre that is a favorite? And I would think science fiction porn would be better than just Brooklyn Today porn or something.
We've done everything.
Like on a spaceship or something.
Everything.
I've done spaceships. I did a movie called Rocket Girls many years ago, right? Which was on a spaceship. And the trick to the spaceship, by the way, is it's all about pocket doors, right?
Oh.
You have to have those. Yeah, you got to. Otherwise, you don't have a good spaceship. You have to have the spaceship where the doors come in and out. And in fact, we did a scene in that particular movie where we did a love scene in zero gravity.
Oh, that's great.
So they were floating through the air, which it was done a long time. I think it looked a little hokey, but it was a good idea.
Stuart,
I love that creativity.
thank you for being on the air with us. The book is called Turning Blue, Stuart Canterbury, Canterbury. Do you have a website for the book?
I just have it on my Facebook page, so you can go there, Turning Blue, and there's also an Amazon page for that.
All right, Stuart, thank you for being on the air with us today, and stay cool. Stay cool out in Los Angeles.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
Your weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident on this Monday, partly sunny. A thunderstorm or two in the area from late morning on. The high today, 91 to 95. And partly cloudy Monday night. There can be a late night shower along the coast. The low 72 inland, 79 at the coast. Tuesday will be partly sunny with a thunderstorm in some areas. Only in the morning, though, along the coast. The high 90 to 94. Wednesday, some sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm, high 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Hi, I'm Big Daddy Don Garlitz, asking you to support adoption by purchasing a Choose Life license plate from your county tag office. You know, it costs a lot to give a child life. Many times a woman is forced to make a bad choice because of financial pressures. Help save the lives of the unborn children by aiding women whom choose life instead of abortion. Take a stand for life. Purchase your Choose Life license plate today. For more information, go to chooselife.org or call 352-624-2855.